Maybe we can start with what was your favorite concept within the book, and we can go from there.
I'm gonna do two. I can't pick just one. So I'm gonna do two. First, my probably my favorite, or tied for favorite, is the chapter about gratitude. Excuse me, that charitable giving leading to abundance. One of my favorite things to do is find places where the wisdom literature and scripture throughout generations and throughout cultures agrees, because I think one of the mistakes we make as a human family is that we focus on differences, right? And so we might say, well, what are the differences between this group or this religion and that group? But I'm interested in places where there's connection and where there's agreement. And if you look at every religion and every great philosophical wisdom tradition through the millennia, one thing they all agree upon is that giving money away is a path to abundance, and that doesn't make sense. Like from a purely mathematical standpoint, you would think that whatever you give away, you are reduced by that much. But the research around that is fascinating, and it proves it out. When you look at people's self-reported sort of how wealthy they feel, do you feel okay? Peter, you're an advisor. This is the number one question that our clients want answered is, am I going to be okay? And when you ask people, are you going to be okay? There's two things that are deeply predictive of that answer. The first one is super obvious. It's how much money do they have? That makes sense, right? People with more money feel more okay than those with less money. Sure. The second thing, though, that is just as predictive is how charitable are they? And this is true at every income stratum. So people from what we would call, low income earners to high income earners, low net worth to high net worth, the more they give away, the better off they feel. And in some ways, that's a deeply weird finding, but it turns out that the wisdom literature was right. And the other chapter that I love, and I do love all 50, but the other chapter that I love is the one about investing in self, because people like Nick Majuli, right? Like people like Nick Majuli have written about this from like Nick wrote about this from his data driven sort of analytical mathematical perspective, and he does a great job of laying out why you should invest in yourself and work on a side hustle, say, more than trying to squeeze an extra 1% out of your day trading. And he's right on there, right? But what I found is the same idea works even from a professional and a personal development stage. People who go to therapy make dramatically more than people who don't. People who bring in a mentor and sort of sit at the feet of someone who's gone before and learn at the feet of someone wiser than them make dramatically more than people who don't. So I think this idea of investing in yourself is really empowering. It's really powerful, both from sort of the blocking and tackling mathematical perspective, and also like elevating your soul, like elevating your game as a person can actually make you wealthier. And that's a pretty cool finding as well.